Do you feel stuck in emotions you don't want to feel, but you have no idea how to change them? So you distract yourself with work, with TV, with scrolling on your phone. But the minute you're alone with no distractions, those same emotions just come rushing back. It's like your mind is trapped in a cycle you can't escape. I know that place. I used to live there. But I learned how to change it, how to live in the emotional states that I actually want to feel. And when I did, life became so much more joyful and I'm way calmer inside. And here's the secret. Your emotions aren't created by circumstances or other people. They're created by something else entirely. They're created by you, by the way that you think. But here's the thing, just knowing this isn't enough. You need to learn how to actually change your thoughts. So in this video, I'm going to take you through the exact 4-step process that I used to reprogram my mind so you can live in the emotional states that you want to live in too. I'll never forget my rock bottom moment. I'd recently broken up with my partner, and as a codependent love addict, that triggered my insecurities big time. If you've ever felt like your whole world just collapses when a relationship ends, that used to be me. So I was walking to work. It was only like a 5-minute walk from my apartment, but that morning my mind was spiraling. No one will ever love me. Why can't I just be happy? What's wrong with me? I felt so lonely, I couldn't bear it. It was physically painful. So tears started running down my face, my heart raced, and my chest started to tighten. I felt like I couldn't breathe. Shit. And the thought that hit me was, everyone else can do this. Everyone else can live their life and go to work like a normal person. What's wrong with me? So I did what felt like my only option and hid behind a pole, crying, hyperventilating, just hoping no one would see me. And eventually, the panic passed, as it always does, even though it doesn't feel like it in the moment. I wiped my face, canceled my day, and went home, feeling like a complete failure. But that was the moment that I made a decision. I can't live like this anymore. This isn't the way I want my life to be. Something just had to change. So I became obsessed with figuring out how to change my thoughts and emotions. And I read everything. Books, research, I took courses, went to seminars. I'd go on long walks with Tony Robbins blasting in my headphones. If it promised a new way of thinking or feeling, I tried it. And slowly something started to shift. My thoughts, my emotions, and my life. For the first time in years, I felt calm, I felt happy, I felt more grateful, and I felt powerful. And here's the wild part. Nothing outside of me had changed. The only thing that had changed was me. Back then, I believed that my emotions came from the outside world, from other people, circumstances, and that belief kept me trapped, just waiting and hoping for something outside of me to change. And it made me feel helpless and powerless. And when you feel helpless, you stop trying. You stop taking action, because if you don't believe that something can change, why should you even try? And that's exactly how you stay stuck. But here's the truth. That belief, it's a lie. Because emotions don't come from the outside world. They come from inside of you, from the way that you think about what's happening. And when I realized that, everything started to change. Because if my emotions came from my thoughts, then I wasn't powerless anymore. I could train my mind, I could reprogram it. And when you do that, you don't just change how you think. You change how you actually feel. You change the emotional states that you live in. And that's what I want to show you today, because if I could do it after years of depression and anxiety attacks, then I know you can too. So let me walk you through the 4-step process that I use and that I now teach my clients to reprogram your mind and change how you feel. Step 1, write down the old belief. Step 1 is about awareness. You can't change what you can't see. So start by noticing the thoughts that make you feel bad or that stop you from actually doing what you want. Write them down. We call these limiting beliefs, and most of them aren't even yours. They come from your upbringing, your culture, or just random moments throughout life where you made an unconscious decision about what something meant and then just never questioned it again. Typical limiting beliefs that my clients struggle with are things like, I'm not good enough, I'm too old, or it's too late to change. Uncomfortable or negative emotions are bad, and that just means something's wrong. It's easy for everyone else to do this but me. I can't work less and create the same or better results. If I do X, then people will judge me, and so on. Does it sound familiar? I've been stuck in plenty of these too. So step 1 is just catching them and seeing them for what they actually are. Step 2, ask good questions that challenge your belief. This is where the belief starts to crack. The fastest way to break an old thought is to start to question it. Ask yourself questions like, what's the evidence that this belief is true? And what's the evidence that it's not true? Has anyone else been in this situation or similar and created a different result? Is there anyone else in the world that might have a different perspective on this? These questions open up space for change. I procrastinated on this YouTube channel for a long time, and I believed I'm not good enough to do this. I don't have enough knowledge. So I asked myself those questions, and here's what I realized. Yes, there are people in the world that know more than me, and there always will be. But there are also plenty who have less knowledge than I do. And I've already been helping clients change their lives for years. Plus, I had my own transformation. And that showed me something important. Limiting beliefs aren't true. They're just stories that we've been practicing. Step 3, choose new beliefs. Now comes the fun part, choosing something better. Here's the rule. Your new belief has to do 2 things. 1, it has to feel true to you. And 2, it has to challenge the old belief. If it doesn't feel true to you, your brain is just going to call bullshit. And if it doesn't challenge the old thought, it won't replace it and nothing changes. So write down 5 to 10 new ways of thinking about the situation that you're in. And if you get stuck, ask a friend, read a book, listen to a podcast, just borrow someone else's perspective. That's what I did in the beginning. Then cross out the ones that don't feel true and the ones that don't challenge your old belief. Then circle the one that feels most right to you, because that's the one that you're going to practice. For me, with this YouTube channel, the old belief was, I don't know enough to share and other people know so much more than me. The belief I told myself instead and practiced was, I'm already helping people gain clarity and change how they think and feel. If that's valuable to them, it's probably valuable to other people too. And that's the one that got me to finally hit record. Step 4, practice until it's automatic. And here's a step that most people skip, practice. We've been practicing the old beliefs for years. You've maybe done it your entire life. So of course it shows up first. That's normal. At first, the new belief is going to feel a little weird and you'll forget to practice it. You'll slip into your old way of thinking, and that's okay, because progress isn't about doing this perfectly. It's about catching the old belief faster and faster and then choosing the new one instead. So help yourself by setting up reminders in your environment, like sticky notes on your desk, a phrase written in your hand, an alarm on your phone, anything that brings that new belief top of mind. I had a client once who used to think, if something goes wrong, my whole day is ruined. That thought showed up automatically for her, so she wrote a new one and put it on the wall next to her desk. Never turn a bad moment into a bad day into a bad week into a bad year. And over time, that became her automatic thought, because that's the truth about beliefs. What you practice grows stronger. Look, feelings always come and go. That's just being human. But you don't have to stay stuck in them. You get to decide which grow into emotional states that you actually live in. And when you use this 4-step process, you're feeding the beliefs that bring you joy, calm, and freedom. That's the secret that I wish I knew sooner. And now it's yours. But here's the thing. This secret on its own isn't enough. You also need to become aware of the mindset traps that you're falling into without even realizing it. So watch this video next, where I'll talk you through 7 mindset traps ambitious people fall into and how you can avoid them.